Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now 2019 is a very special year for Mini as they're celebrating their 60th anniversary. The first cars rolled off the production line back in 1959 here in the UK amidst the fuel crisis, and that was one of the reasons the car was designed. It had to be small and fuel efficient. Since then the car has gone from strength to strength and has gained a real cult following around the world. Not only has it been very successful on the road, it's also been very successful on track, and who can forget the three Minis that appeared in the Italian job. I'm here at Chandlers Mini in Hailsham, where they've got the complete lineup of Mini cars, and the question I want to ask today is, in 2019, which is the best Mini you can buy? Now I'm going to start this series of videos with this car here. This is the Mini Cooper 3-door S. Great looking car. So we're going to take this out on the road. I've got it for the next 2 days. Now remember, this is going to be a series of videos, and click on the subscribe button and the alert bell so you don't miss out on any videos. So we're going to get in the car, I've got the key, let's take it out and see what it's like. The Mini has been known as a fashion statement as much as it has a car. Designed back in the 60s during the fuel crisis and taken over by BMW around 40 years later. It's not surprising really. If you look at the lines, it might be completely different from the original, but there are many styling cues that have been carried over. Obviously this car has got considerably bigger, but there are bits that do happen to look the same. So we'll start at the back of the car. You've got this large silver fuel cap, and also you've got this silver trim running across here. This was an optional extra, so we've got the black mirror caps and also black on the roof. Again, optional extra, we've got these 17-inch wheels. You can upgrade to 18s. I think they're around £700-800 give or take. And these ones are the JCW. The actual car itself looks slightly more aggressive. It's actually got the JCW aero kit on top of this, so it gives you a bigger spoiler, gives you sides, front splitter, rear diffuser. So I think that looks really nice. One of the really cool features, it's impossible to show it during daylight. On the bottom here you've got these downlighters, and in the case of this car it says Mini, so you open it and you get Mini across the floor. The really cool thing that makes this car your own, you can change those small lenses in the bottom. You can get them 3D printed, so you can get whatever you want. So if you happen to want to put your name across the bottom, you can do that. That's really good. Or even a logo, so I could have my Motorsport and Dream Cars logo on the bottom. These side scuttles as well, these are just standard ones. So we've got the traditional S on there. Again, they can be 3D printed, so get your name put on there. So I could have Damien there, a downlighter with my Motorsport and Dream Cars. I think that's, well, I think it's cool. Look at it, awesome little car, but not quite as little as it used to be. So we're going to have a look around the front of the car. So let's have a look at the front of this car. The thing that makes this really stand out from the Mini 1 and the Mini Cooper is we've got this air intake which feeds the turbocharger. Just below it we've got the brand new Mini badge. It's only subtly different. Left and right, what you expect, headlights, but as standard we've got LED lights, and you can upgrade them to adaptive matrix LED lights. Bit of a mouthful that one, so that's an additional £500. Looking lower down we've got this piano black finish. This is a replacement, £200 replacement for the normal silver. And then we've got the JCW front splitter, and that's part of the aero kit that this is fitted with. And just to the left and right air intakes, and also LED fog lights. I think overall, I think it's quite a nice looking car. It's not too aggressive, but it definitely looks like it means business. Finally, let's have a look at the back of this car. The major difference with this brand new model, and it's a bit controversial, what do you guys think? Put it down in the comments below. Do you like these lights? It's got a Union Jack in there, and I love that. I think that's fantastic, and it really looks great at night. I'll put a little shot of that. They come as standard. You can be sensible and change over to the normal ones, but personally I'd leave them as they are. We've got the larger spoiler again as part of the JCW Aero kit. New mini badge. Rear splitter again is upgraded, and this is where you can always tell that this is a Cooper S. Well, other than the obvious Cooper S badge, is you get the twin exhausts. Tech wise, it's got the rear camera, and that's hidden up there, and then we've got the parking sensors and rear fog lights. Now guys, we've had a good look around the outside. It's obviously very different from the original, but I think it's really nice. There's not much I don't like about it. It's quirky, it's retro, it's just fun, isn't it, really? So I'm going to give this a rating, I reckon 4.5 out of 5. I'll put a card up there, so guys, you vote as well. Yep, definitely 4.5 out of 5. Now let's get in the car and we're going to have a good look around. Now we've had a good look around the outside of the car, let's have a look around in here. I'm going to have to put my normal glasses on because it's got rather dark. So, the inside of the car. When you get in, you're greeted with these lovely curves. It's very sort of mechanical with these. I love these switches. You've got switches down here, and then this very modern feeling as well. It's very much like the original, lots of styling cues off of that, but it's very much more grown up. So we're going to start with, well, basically how comfortable I am, because that's really important. This model has got the sport seats, so you've got nice support in the sides, you've got height adjust. Also, as part of the Comfort Plus pack, you also get heated seats and adjustable passenger seat. We've got these nice pull-out bits at the front, so you can actually give yourself a bit more support on the legs. You've got lumbar support, and you can get really comfortable. In the back, there is room for 4. I think I might have to do a little test on that and actually try and get 4 people in here. So overall, I think it's quite nice. Steering wheel as well. We've got the JCW steering wheel, and you've got brake and tilt adjust, so you can get absolutely perfect position. You've got this armrest again, that comes as part of the Comfort Plus pack. A little bit of storage in there. You just put your arm on. So I would say it's a really quick look around, but I'm comfortable, plenty of room, loads of headroom. So again, I'm going to rate this. So overall comfort wise, I'd actually say probably a 4, but because it's quite a small car and in its segment, I'm actually going to give it a 4.5. So again, I'm going to put a card up there. What do you guys think? Would you 4.5, 4? Would you give it a 5? But it's a great chance that you guys can get involved. We'll see if we can come out with the same score at the end of this. Right, as we're sitting down, let's have a chat about the technology in this car. And this is one area, this Mini is completely different from the original, which I think's not a bad thing. When you get in, the most obvious thing is this infotainment system. Now, this is the base model, so it's got the 5.5 inch touchscreen, and you can upgrade to an 8-inch version, and that's not cheap though. That's £2,700 optional extra. Difficult one to know whether you'd go for that, but the tech on this though, basically that is the iDrive system from BMW. As they're owned by BMW, they might as well make use of the tech. I'm actually going to do a full video in more detail, looking at the whole technology of this car. If we go down, we've got dual air conditioning, and that's automatic. Under here we've got heated seats, both driver and passenger. That was actually an optional extra, the Comfort Plus pack. So with that you get, like I said, heated passenger seat, height adjust, and that's really nice features to have. Going down, you've got these wonderful switches here. I really like these. They're a bit like off an aircraft. You've got the start stop switch. We've got park assist. That basically parks the car for you. Great little feature there. We've got traction and stability control, so if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, you can turn it off. Under here you've got a USB port and a cigarette port, so you can charge something 9 volt, I think that one is. 2 cup holders. We've got this nice 6-speed manual. You can upgrade to the dual clutch automatic box. That's quite expensive though. On here you've got your controls for cruise control, very easy to use, and then over this side, control the stereo, answer the phone, and voice controls. That's absolutely perfect, really nice and simple. In front of me, this is a change from the previous gen Mini, where you've got the speedo in front of you, rev counter to one side, fuel gauge to the right. Previous gen, this was actually your main speedo, so they've moved that across. It's slightly going off tech, but customizations. Again, we've mentioned around this car having things 3D printed. This here, this is in the piano black, because it's got the piano black pack. Mouthful again, interior. You can actually have that 3D printed with pretty much whatever you want. So tech wise, it's got a lot in here. There are so many packs now that you can get with Mini. If you go on the Mini configurator, cool, you can start ticking a lot of buttons. Base price of this car is around 23,000. I had a go and thought, I think all of us do, tick all of the boxes on there, and this gets up to around 34,000, which is, it's quite a lot, to be honest, for a car of this size, but it feels a really good quality product at the end of the day. So technology wise, it's got a lot. I'd say compared to other cars, certainly in this segment, well, I'm gonna say probably a 4. Again, 4 out of 5. Again, put a card up there and you guys vote as well, see if we come to the same conclusion at the end. But now is what we really want, is we're going to take this out on the road. Let's go and have some fun. Let's do some semi-sensible dual carriageways. Let's take it down some twisty roads and put it through its paces, because it's a hot hatch. It wants to be driven. This car has to be good at many different things. Yes, on the twisty stuff, it's got to be fun. And driving around town, it's got to be able to do that as well. But also, general dual carriageway, motorway cruising speeds also needs to be good. It's an all-round everyday car, this. So I've headed down to Brighton. Well, I'm heading back now. And we're going to go onto a dual carriageway and we can see what this is going to be like in terms of road noise. Yes, it's raining, so it's going to be slightly louder, which is absolutely typical British weather though, isn't it? So foot down, get out into a nice gap in traffic, so that's perfect. Got that extra bit of power that this 2-litre turbo gives you, and we're up to speed. So I'm not going to say anything just for a minute, which might actually be a good thing. That's not too bad at all. We are sitting just under 60 miles an hour. Now I'm going to set the cruise control. We'll work out, it's the first time I've ever done it. So we've got it on the steering wheel, just on the left hand side. So you just press the button and it says, there's a little round button here, says activated. You then got plus and minus buttons. So we're going to stick that at 60 miles an hour. And that's it really. It's very straightforward. I'm quite impressed. I'd be quite happy doing a longer journey in this. I'm quite comfortable in the seat as well. So boring, mundane stuff, yeah, it's doing that pretty well. The Mini has always been renowned for its go-kart-like handling. I've been driving around up to this point on very sensible A roads and some dual carriageways, and on there it does exactly what I want it to do. This, remember, would be a daily car, so if I wanted at the weekend, go and find some nice twisty roads and put this thing through its paces. I've managed to do that. Luckily around where I live there are some fantastic driving roads, and that's what this car is all about. At the end of the day, it's a hot hatch. We've got this wonderful JCW steering wheel, which comes as one of the, again, optional extra, but it feels fantastic. It's nice and leather. You've also got the basic controls on there for cruise control, stereo and voice control. This model here, so we've got a 2-litre turbocharged engine, 190 something brake horsepower, so I do 60 in about 6.7 seconds. This is matted to a rather good 6-speed manual. You can again go for the dual clutch box, which certainly adds to it. £1,700. It shaves about 0.2 of a second off, but I've not driven one, but I do like a good manual. I think it really makes you more engaged with the road. With some versions of this car, as an optional extra, you can have different driving modes, so you can be in eco, normal or sport. This doesn't come with it, and with the different modes it will weight up the steering, the throttle response will become basically better, and also you can get adaptive dampers on this. That again is an optional extra. I think it's like £500–600. I can't remember exactly, but it's around those figures, and again that will give you better handling. So this road here, oh, it's great. I absolutely love this area. It's perfect roads for this, and at the moment the Mini is feeling very compliant on this road. It's a little bit firmer on the suspension, so you do get jiggled a little bit, but I'd rather have that. I'm going to have the sacrifice of handling. I want great handling. This is a Cooper S at the end of the day, and it's got to be good. It has got the traction control, it's got stability control, so when you're pushing corners, to put it, it will brake the inside wheel and give you better traction round the corner, out the other side, and you're off. And these seats are certainly doing their job. They're very, very supportive, and I'm in the perfect driving position. Oh, this is putting a big smile on my face. The one thing I would say, which I was very surprised about, thanks to the good old EU regulations on emissions, the pops and cracks on this car, they've had to go. I know it's not good, but still sounds pretty good, to be honest. And this thing is, oh, drop it down, throw it into a corner. It is a bit wet and greasy, so I've got to be careful. And yeah, that picks up this 2-litre turbocharged engine producing 192 brake horsepower and over 200 foot-pound of torque. It's great. The previous generation had a 1.6. Now I drove the JCW Roadster, and it was a completely different animal that wanted to rev out a lot more. This is a bit more refined than that, but it's a very good engine. I think this would be great on a track. I obviously can't push it too much on the public roads, but yeah, that. Oh. In terms of traction off the lines, we've got traction control and stability control. So it's greasy, a little bit of traction control, but that's done pretty well. Like I said, it's wet and greasy, and that has done its job. It drops the power slightly. Some clever witchcraft going on there. I'm not a mechanic or even an engineer, so can't quite tell you how that works, but all you need to know, it does. But it handles so well. I agree, go-kart handling, most definitely. And if you've got the adaptive dampers, this thing would be even better. The wheels on this, they've got the upgraded JCW wheels as well. And not only do they look good, they just give you that bit of an extra grip. But I'm loving this. I really, really am. It's so compliant in the corners. It's very darty. I think that's the term, darty. You chuck it into a corner and it goes exactly where you tell it to. Put your foot down and I'm coming to the end of my time with this Mini, and I've had it for the past 2 days. I've got to return it to Mini Chandlers in Hailsham, and I want to say a massive thank you to the guys there for sorting this car out for me. So in summary, looks wise, I think it looks fantastic. It's retro and modern, and especially fitted with the JCW aero kit, it makes it look a bit more aggressive, and it's got the optional JCW wheels as well. Once you get inside the cabin, that retro feel continues. Looks great in here, and we've had 4 people quite comfortably. The boot space in here is, I'd say it's average. It's not fantastic, but for me, taking my camera equipment, maybe a few bags, you're okay. Performance of the vehicle, the hot hatch at the end of the day, and that's pretty good. 190 brake horsepower, and it does pull quite nicely. Handling is great. The only couple of things, or one of the main things I think that was a little bit disappointing, was there's no pops and cracks anymore. They've gone from the exhaust. They've had to get rid of them due to wonderful EU regulations. So maybe upgrading to the sports exhaust would be a good thing to do. But other than that, this car it's really good. I think to improve handling, if I was going to spec this car, I'd want the head-up display, probably the upgraded stereo, and also the adaptive dampers and the drive mode select, I think it's called, so you can have it in normal, eco or sport. But other than that, I think they've done everything very right in this car. It's fun, go-kart handling. That summarises the Mini at the end of the day. So on that note, guys, I'm going to call this video to a close. If you have liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Comments are always welcome, and remember to click on the subscribe